time of year when many people are painting or dyeing eggs or looking for chocolate ones, there's a tradition that's more challenging and unique to a small town in the European country of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's called egg shooing, and it involves affixing a lead horseshoe to an egg without cracking the shell. It's a generations-old practice that few carry on today and takes a great deal of skill and also creates a distinctive souvenir. But none of that answers the question of why, and here's the reason. Hundreds of years ago, when mining and blacksmithing came to central Bosnia, this was a test. It said that if young blacksmiths were able to successfully shoe an egg, they were considered ready to graduate from their apprenticeships and start their own business. Some reportedly became jewelers. There's a similar legend linked to love. If a young man could do this, he was a skilled enough blacksmith to support a family and therefore eligible to marry. So a simple but difficult act became a highly symbolic rite of passage. This is The World from A to Z with Carl Azuz. Thank you for being here. It makes our day to be part of yours. A recent earthquake in Southern California gives us the chance to discuss media literacy. The tremor struck Monday morning near San Diego. It was a magnitude 5.2 quake, which is considered moderate. Several smaller aftershocks followed, but though it was felt throughout Southern California and in parts of northern Mexico, the city of San Diego said there were no major injuries or damage. Could it have been predicted? Before the quake, an account on X tweeted that a strong tremor was coming for the region and that it would strike within 2 days. This seems to have been predicted accurately, and several users predicted the account was about to get a lot more followers. However, other users chimed in that this account regularly posts earthquake predictions every few days, suggesting the fact that it got it right this time was more coincidence than accuracy. It's not the only social media account that claims to predict earthquakes. But the U.S. Geological Survey, a government agency, says accurate predictions are, quote, not possible. There is an earthquake alert system in California that sends smartphone notifications to people once an earthquake begins. Some don't get the alert until the tremor is over. Some may get it seconds in advance of when they feel the quake and have that time to take cover. Accurate earthquake predictions that are days or even minutes in advance would save lives, but experts say they simply don't exist yet.
Word and out. According to American writer Josh Billings, a blank is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. Is it a father, dog, predator, parasite? The 19th century humorist was referring to the devotion expressed by man's best friend, a dog.
There's a program in Atlanta, Georgia that aims to benefit both shelter dogs and men who've been incarcerated. If the inmates who've been recommended for the program stick with it for a year, training the dogs during that time, they're given the chance to be released from jail.
Joaquin Hawley is currently on probation. Like every other man in the Beyond the Bars program, his ability to successfully complete it could alter his life's path.
It was one part of the punishment. So to stay out of jail, come to this program.
Susan Jacobs Meadows has been running K9 Cellmates for more than a decade, pairing dogs rescued from shelters with inmates they believe can change.
They come here, they work with rescue dogs in a group training environment. They sit in very focused curriculum. They're here 4 half days a week during phase 1 of this program, which is structured similarly to an accountability court.
Since 2021, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office has partnered with K9 Cellmates. Part of their mission is identifying men who are repeat felony offenders.
This is their last chance. They have repeatedly had contact with the criminal justice system. They have repeatedly failed. And but for this last opportunity, this last chance, they're looking at an incredibly lengthy prison sentence.
The men will learn about conflict resolution, effective communication, and staying out of jail 101, to name a few.
I think that's our biggest problem, lack of communication, not understanding each other.
Down, boy. Good boy.
Good clicker timing.
For the men, the stakes are high. For the dogs, it hopefully means finding a new home. Somehow, through this process and the magic dogs have, similarities start to appear.
When you go see these dogs in them shelters, if you ever been incarcerated, they're going to put you right back in that same state of mind. So you see yourself in them dogs.
a bond that over time helps both man and dog believe life can be different. Although absolute success years down the road can be hard to quantify, the signs are clear.
When they make mistakes, if the magnitude of the mistakes continues to be less significant, that's progress.
On this date in world history. On April 16, 1961, Cuban leader Fidel Castro declared his nation would be a socialist state. It had already begun to forge relations with the communist Soviet Union. The rift between Cuba and the United States deepened, and it continues to affect their relationship today. On this date in 1917, Vladimir Lenin returned from years in exile to lead the Russian Revolution. Lenin's forces seized control of Russia's government later that year, and along with the Communist Party he founded, Lenin became the leader of the world's first communist country. And April 16, 1912 saw the first female pilot fly across the English Channel. American aviator Harriet Quimby made the journey after learning to fly only a year before. She returned home to the U.S. as an instant celebrity, but less than 3 months later, Quimby lost her life in an air accident in Massachusetts. Many are looking forward to next year's World Cup to be played throughout North America, but the Subbuteo World Cup was just held last year in southern England. Here's a look at that sport.
Just over 75 years ago, Peter Adolph created Subbuteo just around the corner, and we thought, let's bring it home and make it a pilgrimage. And because of that, it's been the biggest World Cup.
More than 300 people from 26 countries traveled here for the tabletop tournament, competing in both individual and team matchups.
It can only grow and get bigger and bigger. In the last 4 years, it's grown tenfold.
The game consists of 2 10-minute halves, with a 2-minute break in between. Competitors flick miniature models of soccer players around, trying to maintain possession of the ball by passing and keeping it away from the defending team, to eventually push the ball into the net and score. Rules are similar to those in real-life soccer, with simplifications and alterations, of course.
Shooting area is technically offside.
When flicking, you can only touch pieces with the nail of your finger, no other part.
The top players will train daily. If that's a mark of an athlete, then they're athletes.
Certainly the game requires some skill. And just like on the real soccer pitch, players are passionate and argue calls. But that's all part of the game.
I personally love the competitive side. It allows me to embrace the inner competitiveness that I have. But also the community side. In the USA, we're a huge country, but we don't have many players. And being able to go and travel in the community that we develop around little clubs and little pockets of play always gets me coming back.
Every once in a while, we receive a request from a school that's got heart. And today, that school is Castle Rock High School, where Mr. Hart is educating the Rockets. Hello to our friends in Castle Rock in the Evergreen State of Washington. Next, show me the Show Me State. That's Missouri, where Mrs. Muth's class is watching from Moscow Mills. Great to see the Titans of Troy South Middle School. Finally, we've got some Bobcats with us from Ewing, Nebraska. Mr. Shoot or Shoot or Shut's class is with us from Summerland Public School in the Cornhusker State. 911 calls that dispatchers don't hear every day.
There's a very large turkey that just went in the store, and it's kind of chasing around into the store.
And that went on at a supermarket in Indiana last week, leading police on a wild goose or turkey chase. It did knock some items off store shelves, but officers were able to approach and apprehend the suspect, returning it safely and soundly to a wooded area away from shoppers. It sure wasn't ducky that the turkey was so plucky, sticking yucky talons like a felon in groceries. It's lucky that it's not Thanksgiving, given that grocers with labels are quite able to carve up reasons to put it on the shelf or on the table. No, it was taken out without even a misdemeanor. It can waddle free, not be a winner turkey dinner. It can turn tail and go gobbling wild where no laws will govern, where it sticks its snoot or takes its wings or legs outside an oven. I'm Carl Azus, working up some foul puns on the world from A to Z. Hope to see you turkeys again tomorrow.